This was a pile of trash, purest rawest obtanium. Now, it's a super heavy-duty tripod and tripod head. About a year and a half ago, these hippies asked me to build this project that you might have heard of. It was called the Illuminator. It was a van with a video projector that came out of the top, and it was some kind of mobile propaganda unit. Recently, the same hippies asked me to build them a bicycle version, built off of a pedicab base. There are three things that this projector head needs to do. It needs to be strong, sturdy enough to hold a 30-pound video projector. It needs to be easy to use so that one person can easily manipulate it, get it where they want, and it needs to be cheap, because my budget is tiny. I didn't know this before I started, but apparently there's two broad categories of tripod and tripod head. The first is the consumer-prosumer one, the one that you'd use for your DSLR, your point and shoot, for a cat video, or this video. Second broad type is for professionals. It's for the big, heavy-duty cameras with the monitors and the batteries for shooting movies or for shooting cat food commercials. They're big, they're tough, they're designed to take a beating, and they're brutally, brutally expensive. I thought to myself, there's no way I'm going to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a fancy tripod or tripod head. I can just make it from stuff that's lying around. How hard can it be? As it turns out, it's very, very hard. The reason that those tripods cost so much is because they're designed to mesh together very, very nicely and work really well. When you're dealing with the stuff that you find lying around, you run into what I like to call the transmission problem. It's a connection between one independent, awesome system, a caster wheel, and another independent, awesome system, the stand head. These two things were never designed to go together. This is cast iron, this is steel, really hard to weld together. Maybe some of the bolts here are metric, supposed to go into standard. That doesn't really work. Nothing quite fits where it's supposed to fit, and there's no shim, there's no pre-existing part you can get to transition from one piece to another. So I'm the guy who's walking around Lowe's 10 minutes before closing on a Saturday night with a micrometer, measuring all of the PVC. When you're making things from scratch out of whatever garbage you find lying around, it's a process of lots of trial and error and error and error and error, and a little more trial and then some more error, and then you kind of move the goalpost so it seems like it's success. When you're looking at things that are lying around, this is a caster wheel, right? It's supposed to take a heavy load on the top and move it around smoothly. At least it did in the construction lot that I stole or obtained it from. I'm not looking at this as a caster wheel. I'm looking at it as a really beefy, powerful bearing that has 2 degrees of motion. That's exactly what I need. You need to retrain your eye. So you're not looking at a thing as to what it is, what it's branded, what it was originally intended for. What you're looking at is what it is at the core. And once you start looking at things for what they really, really are, you have the power to completely remake the world. TIG brazing, it's a process where you're not actually welding. You're just using the TIG torch to heat up the two metals, and then you're flowing silicon bronze rod in. So it's like brazing with an oxyacetylene torch, except you're using TIG.